I guess I know I guess Amazon here to give you guys a movie review, which is basically called Greenland. Yeah, excuse me, basically called Greenland. So this is not my very first time I ever watched this movie. This is probably my third, my fourth time basically watching it. Basically watching it. I remember the first time was while I was watching it with my girlfriend, and me and my girlfriend just were just actually just really just shocked basically what this movie has really is wrong is stuff. It's a thriller action series. Not I will say action series, action movie. It really actually is, and I think this Greenland movie is to me it shows how much realistic then when it comes to Deep Impact, Armageddon, 2012, or some other movies, or Day After Tomorrow. I think Day After Tomorrow was also a good movie as well too. So is Deep Impact and Armageddon, but they really don't show that movie really that much of that realistic feel when it comes basically into the movies. Basically comes to the movies when it comes to basically compared to Greenland. I think Greenland is basically one of those realistic movies that what you see here is not just like you know going out, having a good time and stuff like that, or anything like that, the comedy and stuff like that. And the movie doesn't do that. It just gets straight to the point, like how can they survive? How can they survive a killer asteroid or a killer comet, which is basically the size of 9 yards or something like that, or something. They're saying it's a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger than that most people never would thought it was going to be and stuff like that. And basically, so what is this movie basically all about? Well, the movie basically is all about. It's all about a family. I can't remember his name. I think his name is John. Yeah, John and his family, his wife and his son. They basically got a receive of a message which was called a presidential alert. Now, a presidential alert it means that this is nothing different than all the rest of the alerts that you basically get, because sometimes phones usually don't tell you like if there's going to be severe thunderstorm warning or something. So sometimes they'll give you a alert on your phone. Sometimes they really won't. It just depends. It just depends on basically of your phone. Now, if you get a tornado warning, that's completely different because the phone it'll be ringing so much. When you hear that noise, you just hear like you know what I'm talking about, and it's I mean it's horrifying. Yeah, I mean really actually is. I don't like tornadoes. I'm not the biggest fan of tornadoes or anything like that. I just don't like tornadoes. But even though thank God for the alert systems and stuff like that, that basically just those things right there. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to warn people that there's danger is coming and stuff like that. And even though the phone will ring again and stuff like that, and basically like, if there's a hurricane or a typhoon or whatever this is, that it's like heading towards your way and stuff like that. And basically really actually is. I want to personally want to say when it comes to a presidential alert, it's not. I don't think it's not from the National Weather Service, but it's also basically from NASA, because NASA's pretty much got most of their guys are pretty smart, and they're basically just looking at these different things and stuff like that, like what's going to happen or like that. It's other stuff like that. And I want to say, but when it compares to Deep Impact and also Armageddon, trying to put nukes in these rocks or something like that, space rocks. So I was just going to call them like that, and nobody doesn't know if that really can work or anything. Nobody doesn't really do not know. And one thing I really do want to say is that do we have the technology to do that? That's the question is. And to be honest with you, I really don't think we really do have the technology to really do stuff like that. I just don't think we really do. But you have to understand this is just a science. These are Deep Impact and um, Armageddon. It's just a science fiction movie. Some people would get upset with me because of the way I'm saying that. But that's what it feels to me, because it's a science fiction movie. That's what it basically really actually is. But when compared to Greenland is it's not really based off those similarities, like that they saved the world or anything like that. But it's just kind of allowing the inevitable it's going to happen and stuff like that. But like I said before, I really do not know if they're really actually if they really do actually have technologies, to put these things like in these asteroids or comets that come out towards us that can disrupt the disruptive them and stuff like that. I just don't see it. I just really do not see it, because that will cost a lot of money for them to do, and and I mean that I mean it really would it would cost really a lot of money, basically just for them just to basically just do that and stuff like that. But I want people just to remember. I do understand that people probably do like Deep Impact and Armageddon. I do like those movies, but the problem that I see for those movies is basically that when it compares to Greenland, it doesn't really show those they really don't show those the realistic feels and stuff like that. It's just basically just a movie. That's basically what it feels to me. But even though Greenland, on the other hand, based on the hand is that it's not really based. It's not really based on Deep Impact, and Armageddon, because like I said before, Deep Impact and Armageddon, those are just science fiction movies. That's what they really are. They're just action packed basically movies because it doesn't really get straight to the point like what is going to happen or anything like that. But they spend so much time, so much time, basically what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to do that. But I want people to to know and just to understand. I don't hate those movies. I don't hate those movies. But I really would like it. I really would like it. It's just that basically being on the serious route based on the movie and make it look like make it look like this is what's going to happen. This is that's it probably is. Yeah, it's going to happen and stuff like that. That's why I like Greenland because it's not just because I like Greenland because it's so realistic. It's the reason why I like Greenland is basically because it shows those interactions like when they take up precaution, like if the world were to come to an end or anything like that and stuff like that. When you see these different parts based on the movie, just like I said, what the presidential alert, it would alert people to know that this is a very serious situation. It's also called a lotto series, a lotto. Now, a lotto is based kind of like it's kind of like you win the lottery or something like that. Basically, that's basically kind of what basically it actually is. But you have to remember that they I think they go by I think the president or the government selects people that's just been doing like I don't know which families or they go by their social security numbers or something like that. I really do not know how the law really actually works. It's kind of confusing. It really actually is. But even though with John and his family, they were selected to go to underground facility where they can be safe, and so they wouldn't have to worry about what space is going on and stuff like that. And the reason why basically I'm saying that because if that were based would have happened, then yes, there would have been a presidential alert, and it probably would tell me, or it probably would tell somebody else that you're favorable to basically go in these bunkers and stuff like that, and you're favorable to really actually go in there. And I just want I just want a person that's what it feels to me because like when you went in a line and you see like a whole bunch of people saying like we want in, and somebody that's saying like this is not fair and stuff like that. And I want to say this, is that they can get upset all they want, okay, to the government. Okay, the government is the one who's making this choice. Even the president of the United States also will too is making that choice also will too. And sometimes that with this lottery that they have is basically it's not basis of a chance that you're going to win. It's based on a chance when others don't even have the bracelets because they have to have bracelets. They have to hit some kind of attacks or something like that from them because like I said before, when you get a presidential alert, that tells me that you've been selected. If I was not selected, then I would say okay, then that's fine. That's fine. Then I would face my inevitable, and then guess what? I'm dead. Or if that's all I can really actually can say. I mean, I I want to say this is that I just don't think that we're not prepared for stuff like this. Stuff like that. I just don't think we really are not because some people will. I wouldn't say some people will probably get upset with me for saying it, but I want people to really to understand that this movie of Greenland is definitely is something that like I said before, we don't have the money or the technology to create these kind of things to make this to do something like go into space and stop an asteroid or a comet. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I just don't really see how the really asteroid is going to do and the time and also well too. I mean the time that's very very important also well too. Like how much time did they got left to stop this? Nobody doesn't. Nobody doesn't even know. Nobody does not even know if they were to develop these new technologies. Will they work? Will they not work? We just don't know. We just don't know. That's what it kind of frustrates. But I'm not saying it because it frustrates because with Greenland of the movie. But I have to say, basic to me is that I think Greenland does shows and it does shows that basically of a movie basically like this. It shows how real it really actually is. That's something what I like about the movie. But even though when compared to Armageddon and Deep Impact, I understand those are really good films. Yes, they are very good films, but they really do not really get into the specifics of basically of what's really going to happen. But they spend most of the time to make it kind of like an action and a comedy kind of movie. That's something that I just really don't like. I'm not saying I hate comedy or anything like that. It's just something. It's just something I'm just not really a big fan of. Sometimes I really am. I really am. Sometimes I really am not. But I think some people will probably get upset with me because my review of this movie. Because I mean that's all I gotta say. So yeah, it was. That's it for this movie review. Tell me what you guys do. You guys like this movie? You guys don't like it? I'm curious about what you guys have to say. I mean, I understand people do have their own opinions, but I'm not trying to say those movies suck or anything like that or anything like that. I would never say stuff like that. But that's basically what it feels to me. So yeah, anyways, just I know I say I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button, give me a thumbs up, or give me a thumbs up. It doesn't matter to me. Or give me good comments or mean comments. It doesn't matter to me. But yeah, I love you guys. Take care. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. God bless you. Love you guys. Take care.